Hello. Today I'm going to speak to you on another important aspect of the Guinean life, and that is the police service. But before I go on, I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to you to click the subscribe button to join and also to join our community to help us, for us to team up to push this noble idea forward. The whole dream is to emancipate ourselves from the mental slavery bondage that we find ourselves in, and that is ignorance. And as they say, ignorance is a disease, and therefore, when you are suffering from ignorance, that means you are sick. And that is why the main focus of my job is to expose some things, or expose you to some basic things that we're supposed to know. But unfortunately, we are not abreast with them. And I am speaking from experience. I was born and raised in Ghana, and I traveled to the UK after I completed University of Ghana, and I spent over 10 years in the UK. In the UK, I worked as a teacher. I was a student, and then changed over to become a teacher. I was trained in the English educational system. So I'm a qualified teacher. I'm qualified to teach any part of England. You see? And so whatever I'm saying is from a practical experience. And in Canada here, I have worked in a banking sector. And that also gives me an opportunity to look at this part of the world from a different angle. By the way, so today I am going to speak to you about the police service. But before I go on, I also want to make this statement that everything that we practice in our lives today as our modern day lives are inheritance from the British. If you take even the church or Christianity was introduced to us by the Europeans. And then if you look at governance, what we call our political system, we were introduced to it by, or it was given to us, it's an inheritance from the British. If you take our education, if you take everything that we call modern experiences or modern aspect of life, all of them are inheritance. And therefore, if there is anywhere to seek or to look for benchmark in order to see whether what we are doing the right thing or not, then it must be those who gave us those ideas. And that is why I always speak and use United Kingdom, Britain as an example, especially when it comes to Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania. These are all British colonies. And therefore, whatever we have in our lives today was given to us by the British. And if we want to see the progress that we are making, then we have to match ours to them. And so the police service, Ghana Police Force, was established in 1894 by the colonial administration as the Gold Coast Police Force. And that was what was handed over to the first administration under the leadership of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And as a matter of fact, if you look at what we have today in Ghana, from the colonial time, there has not been any differences in the colonial administration and structure and what we have today. You see, and so as a matter of fact, Ghana Police Force is a colonial institution that has never seen any kind of change or reform. The general impression, the general mindset, the general conclusion in Ghana is that, and other African countries, is that the police service is a corrupt institution. The men and women in the police uniform are not respected. But today, I am here to expose you to the truth that it is not the men and women in the police service, the men in uniform, that are corrupted. But it is the system and the organization, the structure under which they are trained and deployed, that is corrupted. And therefore, has corrupted them. As a matter of fact, there is a saying that water takes after the shape of its container. And so if you take water, a cup of water, and pour it into a round cup, it will take the shape of the round cup. If your cup is a triangular shape, and you pour that water, the same water, into the triangular shaped cup, it will take the exact shape, you see. And so the training and the exposure that you are given to as a police service or police service man or woman is what you will wear, you will bear. You have to adapt to it, whether you like it or not. And so I am not defending the men and women in uniform, but that is a mathematical fact. It is not that policemen and women are those who are corrupted and therefore they have taken bribe. But it is the system, the Ghana Police Service, the system under which it is being organized, that is corrupted. And that is why the men and women are demonstrating what the police service in Ghana is. And so today, my job is to expose you to these facts. And I am not appealing to the government of Ghana, but I am appealing to you, the ordinary man walking on the street of Ghana. And also my brothers and sisters in the diaspora, if you are in England, if you are in the United States, if you are in Canada, if you are in any part of Europe, please put your eyes and your mind on the ground and try to understand their police service. But today, my focus is on England because they gave us police service. And so, as I said, the police force in Ghana was established by the colonial administration, and it was handed over to us when we got independent. But today, if you go to United Kingdom and you look at the police service, it's a total different thing from what we have in Ghana. Ghana is still holding on to the colonial structure and administration and practices that were handed over to us by the British. But the British people have already moved on, you see. And so the other day I spoke about local government reforms. Whatever I'm saying about policing will work only when there are reforms or there is a proper structure of local administration. And so this is how the police service in the UK as compared to Ghana is. In the UK, there is nothing as a centralized police headquarters. I repeat, in the United Kingdom, those who gave us the police service, they don't have national police headquarters and they don't have IGP. What they have is they have territorial police forces. So United Kingdom or England, the United Kingdom is divided into territories. If I'm to compare it to Ghana, I would say maybe district levels. And each territory organizes its own police force. These forces are autonomous, independent, with oversight responsibility of the government under the Home Office. Those of us in England listening to me, you can verify this. If you're not in England and you are in any part of the world, even if you Google it, you will get this information. I know this with experience or from experience. And so when you go to London, we have the Metropolitan Police Force or Scotland Yard, which is the head is Scotland Yard. That police force is responsible for all the boroughs in the London area. That is their jurisdiction. They are not under any police headquarters. And if you move out to other counties, other areas, they also have their own police services. And so the police administration is brought to the local level, and they manage it themselves at the local administration level. And for there to be transparency, for it to be efficiency, and to hold the police service accountable, they have what we call Police Service Board. And it is the police board that hold the police, each territorial police accountable in terms of malpractices or the grievances that the civilians, have against the police service. And so there is nothing as the IGP who is in the London controlling all the police forces in the United Kingdom. The Home Office is not part of the police force, but it is a government branch that has oversight responsibility. So if you take Ghana, maybe the Interior Ministry should hold that responsibility. The office of the IGP and all the roles, all the officers that are under him at the the national police headquarters are not necessary. And that is where corruption and malpractices begins. One person sitting at the national level, controlling all the police force in the country. Everyone is trying to work to please him or him and his people. And so even if you have to look at it from this angle, look at the amount of resources, amount of money that goes into the creation and the maintenance of the National Police Headquarters in Accra. The salary of the IGP, the deputy IGP, and all those deputies, and all that. Then you take it to the regional level. Those amounts, the cars they ride in, the offices they live in, all these things, even their accommodations. If you put all this together and distribute it to the district level, every district will have a proper and a functional police office and will be able to equip with the necessary policing equipment or resources. As it is right now, you can travel across Ghana and you will realize that police stations are dead places. Policemen and women are walking barefooted. They have no policing equipment. They have no means of transport. Meanwhile, there are officers who are living in Porsche cars and Porsche offices in Accra and even maybe the regional offices, you see. And so if you look at what Britain has and you put it on Ghana, you realize that they have already run away. They gave it to us, but because they are progressive oriented, they look at things that everything must be evolved, and therefore they have evolved their police service up to a point that it is functioning well for them. But what is happening in Ghana? And so I am giving this explanation or giving this education to you, the ordinary man, and also my brothers and sisters in the diaspora. You are in America, you are in the USA, you are in the United Kingdom, you are in Canada. You hold political parties in Ghana cards. That is fair enough. We have the right to do whatever we want to do. But you should be able to show them the way. Look at what your experience is and compare it to what is in Ghana. And if you are unable to do that, but you sponsor the political parties in Ghana to come to power and do what they think or what they are doing, then you are actually supporting them wrongly. And as I stated the other day in one of my episodes, there are two things that comes to mind when it comes to the development of Ghana. Either the leaders, not the leaders in power now, but from Kwame Nkrumah till today, either all the leaders, they are not abreast with what to do to develop Ghana, or they know it, but they are intentionally doing it, doing what they want, because they know that ordinary men and women are ignorant about some of these things, you see. And so my responsibility is to empower you. Demand these things from them. The first demand you have to ask from any man or woman that is in power or that is asking you to help him to go into power is the proper structure and maintenance, sustainable local administration level. Don't ask them for KVIP. Don't ask them for those kind of things. They will come and do those kind of things for you, but they are not sustainable. In a couple of years, those things will be outdated, or you cannot maintain them. But when you have proper local administration structure, local administration functioning, those administrations, you can call on them or you can fall on them to give you whatever you want from them or you want from the government, you see. And so if you look at what is happening in Ghana, police force is something that needs urgent reforms. It is something that needs urgent reform. And as a matter of fact, the office of the National Police Headquarters is not necessary. It must be scrapped. The resources that is used to maintain the National Police Headquarters could be channeled into strengthening district or local police services in such a way that when you travel across Ghana, wherever you go, you will experience proper policing. And as I've already stated, this is not possible until there is a proper structure and existence of proper local administration. And so the focus is the establishment and the restructuring of our current local administration in such a way that all government agencies, all government departments will be decentralized, if not all of them, but most of them will be decentralized to the districts. Or maybe we can create it like territorial or whatever way that we want to create it in such a way that everything will be brought to the local people. And the beautiful thing about the United Kingdom system is that the police board is made up of civilians. They are not policemen and women, but they are civilians. And they hold the police service in the local area or in the territory area as hold them accountable, you see. And so this is just a gist of a kind of education that I'm giving to every one of you. But my request to you is begin to think carefully and begin to think beyond the common things that we are demanding from the government. Believe it or not, if you are in the diaspora and you think you want to go and do anything in Africa, or you want to, some people actually live here and go and join political parties that they are going to help. Believe it or not, you cannot help. And as a matter of fact, most of them actually went and they've been converted to do the same thing as what they are doing in Ghana, you see. So if we want to see development, if we want to see change, if we want to see proper development, where every community, every society in Ghana has the basic amenities that people or human beings in the 21st century must possess or must enjoy, then this is the time we have to begin to look the other way. And the other way is what I'm presenting to you. This is how modern societies, modern nations are organized. What we have Ghana today is a colonial legacy. It's a colonial legacy that we are clinging on. Police administration, police service has been transformed in the United Kingdom to another level, but we are still paralyzed. We are still clinging on to the colonial administration. And as a matter of fact, if we don't want to change, you don't want to use Britain or any of the advanced countries as a benchmark, then the only way for us is to create our own system. But if we want to practice the system that has been handed over to us, then there is no other way. There is no way other than we listening, observing, and learning from what they are doing. And if we do that, even with some little adjustment, we will gain more results, better results of what we are doing. And so I am going to conclude my statement or my episode today by once again re-emphasizing this point. Policemen and women in the uniform are not those who are corrupted or are corrupt, but it is the police system, the administration and the structure under which they exist or they operate that is corrupted. And if you want to see corruption wiped out of the police service and even in our community, then this is the time for us to change the structure and the operation of the police administration. Thank you, and God bless you.